Hey, welcome back to Mirror Expressions, a channel where I take the time to share a little bit of myself with you all, and I invite y'all to come on in and do the same with me. What's up, y'all? I have missed y'all. I know I have been MIA, but listen, I've been running around here like a chicken with my head cut off. My big girl has graduated high school. That was memorable experiences. I cried like a baby. I did. And then we of course had a big celebration for her. And then my baby boy, he's away at camp. Like this, I still cannot believe I allowed him to go to camp. Because I know I keep telling y'all I'm gonna give y'all the rundown on him, but just for all intent and purposes right now, he's nonverbal. He's not able to do anything for himself. And I don't know these people. So yeah, I'm tripping. But needless to say, it's a camp strictly for children with disabilities, or differently able, as I like to say. And so yeah. So that's where we are. He's there now, and me being Mama Bear, I was not about to drive all the way back home and leave him because it was about a 4-hour drive. So I just wanted to be nearby in case anything happened. So I'm here in my lovely hotel room. But he seems to be enjoying himself, which is the bigger picture of it all. And I'm actually glad that he's having an opportunity to do things that typical children get to do, you know. So I really am appreciative for everybody behind planning this camp. Like it's a great experience. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump into it. I done filled y'all in about me. Let your girl know how you're doing. Like if y'all are feeling fantabulous, if you've looked in the mirror today and you are okay with what you see looking back at you, y'all know what I'm gonna say. Go ahead and drop me that mirror emoji down in that chat, y'all. Let your girl know, hey, I'm doing great too. You know, big things popping over here. All right, so we still on this married at first sight hamster wheel. Right? Because that's exactly what it's starting to feel like. We're just going around and around and around and around. So season 16 episode 21, we're gonna make this quick, okay, baby? So we pick up with Kirsten saying to Shaquille that she wants to continue with the marriage, right? He in turn does this little long soliloquy where he says he can never be the man that she wants him to be. Eyes are all red, and he says, you know, he wants a divorce. Boom, bam, bada. They could have did that the previous episode when everyone else was giving their decisions. Like, why did y'all drag this out? So Dr. Pepper and Pastor Cal, baby, they both look really surprised, like damn near pissed, actually. But Shaquille says, you know, he's been feeling alone and she wasn't there for him, and how hard it's been, and how he has shown up every day, but she's not. And the whole time he just boo-hooing. He cried, right? And he just says like nothing is ever good enough for her, and he doesn't know what else he could do to show that he's been there for her from day one, right? Basically. And just from the things we've seen, of course, we do not get to see everything. So there obviously are probably things going on off screen that we know absolutely nothing about, right? But just from what we have seen, I don't see that. I don't see how he could say he was feeling alone. Now, I'm not going to say that Kirsten was like, bam, wham, bam, thank you, man, I'm there. But how he could say he was feeling alone, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I definitely feel there has to have been more um, that we just are not privy to. I will say I do think that Kirsten has this idealistic picture of what a happy marriage looks like, and that's what she's trying to create. Like this picture perfect marriage. She's in the kitchen cooking and baking cookies, and he's bringing home the bread. But I think she's trying to create that family that she did not have growing up. The one that she wanted that she just did not have. And so maybe in that, it's just about painting this picture versus actually dealing with what you absolutely have in front of you. So maybe that's what's going on. But like I said, you know, who knows? So Kirsten said it takes more than 8 weeks and that she has given him chance after chance to show up. And that she just hated that he didn't receive what he needed in their marriage, right? Although she said she extended him grace, but she does just wish him the best, right? So they get up, they hug. Pastor Cal was just like, this isn't what we were hoping for. And Dr. Pepper sitting over there speechless because another one bites the dust, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, afterwards, in his little confessional, right, Shaquille said his decision came from his heart. In her confessional, Kirsten was pissed. Like, we are finally seeing like something from her other than just that monotone, halfway, lips barely moving, talking like, baby. She got in there confessional. She said, "Are you effing serious?" She said, "I should be the one crying." I said, "Well, all right. You're the one who gave up. You're the one who said no." Oh, child, baby. I think Kirsten is probably more upset over him saying no for the fact that she probably feels it's an embarrassment to her versus over the fact that she's missing out on their relationship with him. I could be wrong. That's just kind of what I feel. That's the vibe I'm picking up on. But anyway, so yeah. Pastor Cal and Dr. Pepper, they're talking, and Dr. Pepper was just like, how much does he need? And that's the thing, need. Like, Shaquille is very needy. He is. That's why I said I don't see how he says that he was alone, like, and that she was not supporting him. Like, she probably was not doing all the things that he needed or he wanted, but I don't think she was absolutely absentee, especially later on in the picture, you know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, yeah. So Pastor Cal said that Shaquille would never get any better than that. I said, who? Well, damn. Okay, Pastor Cal. Y'all, he tickled my soul with it. And I was just like, really, Pastor Cal? And I'm kind of thinking maybe he's speaking. He has to just be speaking aesthetically because personality now, I ain't gonna say the girl personality was as dead as rocks, but it wasn't just bursting. It was not. Let's just be real. Okay, but yeah, so I'm having to think he meant in the look wise department. Like, Pastor Kyle, let me find out you over there lusting after that girl, that big booty. Anyway, y'all, it's the day after decision day, and everyone is meeting up. We see Nicole and Chris waking up together, Aries and Jasmine. They're packing up their apartment. She did say she was feeling a little sad because it was starting to feel like home. But that starting over is a good thing. Jasmine said the one thing that she would do differently is speak up in the moment about exactly however she's feeling, whatever the situation is, versus just holding on to it. She said other than that, she knows she was a damn good wife, right? And was like, he just did not deserve you, boo. He did not. So then this old blockhead gonna ask her if he can come and see Duchess. Now, Aries, you ain't want to have nothing to do with that dog. Like, why do you want to come see Duchess? Why do you want to string her along like that? Because that's all you're really doing. Because it's not about the dog. We all know that. But anyway, Aries said that the only change he will make is being vulnerable a lot sooner. So we get the whole dramatic leaving out, putting the rings and the keys on top of the countertop. And yeah, it is what it is. We end up seeing it with every couple, by the way, them leaving their keys and their wedding rings on the countertop. So we see Clint and Nicole next doing the same. She said that this experiment has shown her just how resilient she is. And so she asked him, will he keep Hank for her while she's out of town? I'm just like, okay, you think you just got a built-in babysitter now? Oh, excuse me, I just had some ice cream, so excuse me. So anyway, I'm just like, what is this? Really? We got a built-in babysitter, a built-in dog sitter now? Ugh. So anyway, Clint said, well, I'm not walking away with a wife, but I'm walking away with a companion in Hank, right? So he said, and plus just immense gratitude and good memory. So again, they do the whole same dramatic walkout, keys, rings on the countertop, right? Boom, bada, bang, bang. So next we see Shaquille, right? He's on the phone with one of his friends. He says, he never imagined that things would have turned out this way. We learned that Kirsten done already moved out, baby. She was not waiting when she left. D-Day, she took her butt right back to their apartment and packed her stuff up. Like, she's like, no, we are not doing this together. And so, Shaquille was telling his friend, well, I hope that she doesn't have any hard feelings toward me, right? And so, as soon as he says that, we get this flashback of Kirsten moving out of the apartment, like her last little walkout. And so she at the door, and she turns back to the camera and throws the bird double time. I was like, oh my goodness. Is that what we're doing now, Kirsten? Is that what we're doing, baby? Kirsten done took that mask all the way off. Do you hear me? Oh, I'm just like, come on now, Kirsten. I get that you're upset, but that was not a good look. That was not a good look. So anyway, like I said, child, this has been the most we done ever get from her, right? So anyway, in a confessional, Shaquille said that this wasn't a fairy tale for him, although that's kind of what he expected. And I'm thinking like, well, maybe that's also part of the problem. Like, I think both of them just had unrealistic expectations when it comes to marriage. And I had a partner like that. And it was just like every time we saw each other, they wanted it to be like this deep, passionate kiss. And I finally asked, I said, what is your perception of a relationship? Like, what is your view? Like, when you think of an ideal relationship, what does it look like? And they started describing something like off the TV. I'm just like, that's not reality. Do you think every time you kiss somebody, it's gonna be this long, drawn out, the stars and the fireworks bursting in the background type of deal? That's just not what it is, you know? Sometimes it's just gonna be a pet, you know? But anyway, I say all that to say, I think Kirsten and Shaquille both just had unrealistic expectations about what to expect out of a marriage. Like he's saying, he was wanting a fairy tale, and that's not what he got. It's not a fairy tale. It's not. You know, it's work. Anyway, he said that they both showed up and they both were intentional and they both did the assignments that the experts gave them, but something was missing. I was just like, wait a minute, Shaquille. Wait a darn minute. Because, baby, did she or did she not show up for you? I need to know, because at this point, you just contradicting yourself. Because before you said she never showed up, you were so alone, da 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 da, and now in this breath you saying, well, y'all both showed up. Like, which is it? Come on now. Anyway, that was that on it. We get their keys and their rings on the countertop. So we're 2 days after decision day at this point, right? And can I just insert that that this is ridiculous that there are this many episodes post decision day. Have y'all heard this is going to continue like toward the end of June? Like, seriously, this season. Like, lifetime. But anyway. So Clint is back home. He's FaceTiming with one of his friends, and he tells her that there are a couple of candidates that he can double back on, knowing what he knows now. And I'm just like, really, Clint? No. So they kind of just talked about his age. You know, he's 41, and how that can factor into finding a mate. And I'm just like, that's facts. That's true. Because I'm kind of like in that same space. Like, it's definitely a lot challenging. And also in our age group, not only is it challenging just because of your age, but it's also challenging in that the way things are now versus like when we were starting out dating, like in our late teens, early 20s, like times are definitely different. Like back then, cell phones were really just coming into play. There wasn't really a whole like this online dating stuff, like swipe left and right. It wasn't no instant gratification. Like, you actually met people, you walked up to them, you talked, you exchanged phone numbers. Like, that's the kind of thing, you know, versus swipe left, swipe right. Okay, let's go out on a date. I got what I want from you. Next. You know, nobody is, I feel like these days, I know I'm on my soapbox now, I feel like these days, like, no one is valuing the art of dating. You know, they just want that instant gratification. Like, it's their high. I think Eris actually talked about on the show, their high of meeting someone new and then going on to the next, versus meeting someone you see potential in something, going somewhere and investing in that one person. You know, so yeah, things are different. So I feel you on that, Clint. But anyway, McKinley is back. So he's with his female best friend, you know, the one he was living with. So y'all, they waiting on Kirsten to come show them some house. She's late or she doesn't show up. We never see her show up. So she tell the people to walk on in. Now, who leaves their house wide open? Because clearly a family is still living there. And y'all, this is a huge house, and he's talking about he's trying to buy this house for just himself. Like, this is a huge house for a family of like 6 to 8 people. Like, I was just like, come on now. Talking about his goal was to find a place with the wife, but since that's not the case, it's just him finding a place by himself. I don't believe it. He's not trying to buy no house. Like, I think he just doing it to make a point because, baby. Anyway, Kirsten talking with her friend about how Shaquille had the nerve to say he wanted a divorce, but started crying. And her friend was like, well, do you feel like you learned something? And Kirsten said, yeah, it has made her consider other people's feelings more. But this, as of right now, she's just going to focus on herself, focus on her health, focus on her wealth. I said, child, you need to be focusing on the empty apartment. Take this money you got from doing this show and buy you some stuff, girl. Okay, furnish that apartment. Then she jokes about, like, maybe just finding somebody she can have some babies with and co-parent with. And I was just like, okay, girl. Don't do it. I'm laughing, but I bet a lot of people have had that thought. I ain't gonna lie, I did. I was probably in my late 20s at this point. Had already bought my first home. Career was on track. Like, I was that chick. But I felt like I was missing that piece of being married. I always wanted children. And so I was just like, well, shit, I can do this on my own. You know what I'm saying? So I started vetting out people. Like, literally, I was like, do I want to go to the bank or do I want to, approach a friend? So I decided to approach one of my friends, right? He was good looking. He was intelligent, so bam. No, I was just like, so I want to have a baby and I want you to, be the father. And I was like, you ain't got to be involved. See, I wasn't even trying to go to co-parent route. I was like, you ain't got to be involved. I just want you to help make the baby. And so he was just like, well, how do you want to do it? I was like, well, we can go. You can put your sperm in a cup, do what you got to do. And I can have it injected and, we can go from there. And so he was like, okay, let me think about it. So a couple of weeks later, he came back. He said, okay, I thought about it and I'll do it. I said, okay, yes. I'm getting all happy. I'm like, yes. And so he said, but only on one condition. I said, what? We got to do it the old-fashioned way. I said, oh, hell. Don't do it, girl. Needless to say, it never happened. It did not happen. I did not get I did not have a baby. Did not get pregnant by my friend. Oh, goodness. But, yeah, I think a lot of women may have had that thought. Anyway, so we see Gina hanging with her friend. Everybody hanging with their friends this episode, right? She brings up how she didn't like that Clint was the class clown. She said that she's ready to date. She doesn't need time to get through any kind of heartache because she never felt anything for Clint, right? Then we see Jasmine. She at her house. She lived with her parents. And her Aunt Pat is there. I think what's the Aunt Pat? I think it's Aunt Pat. We're going to say it's Aunt Pat. If it ain't Aunt Pat, if that ain't your name, Aunt Pat, please forgive me. So, Aunt Pat was wants to know, well, what was the problem? So Jasmine said, well, first of all, he was never in the marriage, right? Because he wasn't. So Pat was like, that ninja, that ninja was fronting around. He was putting on front. You know, she said it like that. But Jasmine was like, yeah, pretty much so. He was front. You know, so Auntie said, you know what? I'm looking at them mind sideways. So anyway, I like Aunt Pat. Her aunt was pretty funny. She tried to take back a bottle of I think it was a champagne or wine that she had gifted him. She was like, I'm taking this back. But anyway, Jasmine also tells her how he wants to come and see Duchess, and Aunt Pat was like, for what? What for? And I'm just like, right, what for? I'm with you on that, Aunt Pat. Like, man, please. There will be a hell to the no, no, no. Anyway, we see Shaquille working out. He said that marriage has thrown him off his whole workout schedule. I know, listen, I know I ain't got room to talk about nobody working out, because clearly I do not. But Shaquille, you don't look like you was working out much before your wedding either. Man, don't get over here lying. Do not do it. Do not do it. Oh, goodness. Then gonna turn around and tell them people to start him at a beginner level of boxing. Why you starting at the beginning level if this something you used to? It's kind of like riding a bike. Once you get on it, it'll come right back to you. You don't forget. Like, come on, Shaquille. You know you were not doing this before your marriage. Anyway, it reminds me of when Kirsten was in their room working out, pretending like she was working out when she was talking to Shaquille's mama. So anyway, Kirsten and Nicole, they're hanging out, right? Doing a little shopping. So Kirsten is talking about she might get her some new furniture. How about you just get some furniture, period? Just get you some, period. Okay. And y'all know what I was thinking. For real, though. Kirsten, she really did. She just got that apartment for the show. She had to have. Because y'all remember her reasoning for not having anything in that apartment was because she said she is a minimalist. Right? But y'all remember that episode when she was telling Shaquille that he got to buy her a car and a house. But she mentioned that she's already driving a BMW. What did she say? A BMW, and she wanted him to upgrade her to a Mercedes or something along that lines. And I'm just like, now you tell me, what minimalist drives around in a luxury car? I'll wait. I said, I don't care who tell it, baby. Anyway, we find out that Nicole has moved in with Chris into his apartment, right? So they talk about that for a little bit. And of course, they bring up Shaquille as well. And Kirsten says she's waiting on him to reach out to her. She's not going to be the one doing the reaching out at all because he's the one that ended it. So Nicole said, well, it may just be hard for him to reach out knowing that he was the one that ended it because he may be carrying some guilt behind that. And I was like, true. I said, but Nicole swears she over there grieving the demise of their relationship. Like, Nicole, no ma'am. Oh, anyway. Aries is back at his house. He's talking to his roommate, who we never knew existed. Like, we knew the guy, like other Cheese. I remember talking about Cheese, because who has a nickname Cheese? You know, what grown ass man walking around here being called Cheese? But in every other episode that we've seen Cheese, we saw him at the big wedding, and then I think they came to the shared apartment. It was always just Aries' friend. It was never introduced as Aries' roommate. But apparently, Aries has a roommate. Cheese is his roommate. And Cheese has a girlfriend that came into the room acting all surprised. Like she just found out that Aries and Jason broke up. Like, girl, no, you been knew that they are broken up. So don't act surprised. Talking about, oh, I really wanted to meet her. I was hoping we were gonna be doing some double dating. And I'm just like, girl, you could have been done all that. You talking about you want to meet her and do some double date. You could have came over there with Cheese came over there. Y'all could have been doing some double dating. Like, your fake self. Anyway, Aries wants her, the girlfriend, to hook him up with some of her friends, right? So they're all talking, the three of them, and they tell Aries, like, don't expect to find a 10 out of 10 when it comes to your ideal woman. Like, nobody's gonna carry everything that you're wanting. They was like, you'll do good if you get an 8 out of 10, you know. So then he starts to give him a rundown of what he would like what a person he would like to date would look like, right? And y'all, now he always claimed he was not attracted to Jasmine because she's not thick, you know. But then he turns around and says, well, I'll date thin or thick. Come on now, Aries. You just be talking. Like I said, a lie don't care who tell it, right? Anyway, so Shaquille has a couple of his friends over, right? He says he's gonna miss going to sleep with what's the name, Kirsten, and waking up to Kirsten. That's the one thing he's definitely gonna miss. So his friends wants to know if he has any regrets, right? And Shaquille said he doesn't want to live his life in regret, and I don't blame him. I wouldn't either. You know what I'm saying? Make a decision, stand firm in it, move on. But he doesn't seem like that's what he's doing anyway, because he seemed like he want to leave that door open for something more. But anyway, he said things just wasn't there for them, and that he's in a place of like, what's next? Like, he has his career, he has his education, but then what was next? You know what I'm saying? He did say that he ultimately hopes that he and Kirsten can become friends at some point, and who knows, that maybe through that friendship something else may grow. No. Stand firm in your decision. Live life with no regrets and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we see Nicole and Chris again. They're signing the new lease. I think they're just moving into a bigger apartment in the same place that Chris is already staying. So they sit down, they start talking about finances, and that's something we really didn't see this season, right? Now that they're kind of talking about it, we never did see them discuss their finances. But anyway, so they talk about kind of like how they want to pay the bills. Nicole mentions maybe getting a joint account and paying the bills out of there. Chris was like, hell nah, I'll pay them, and then you can reimburse me. Oh, goodness. Oh, I don't know, but that tickled me, y'all. That tickled me. Yes, sir. Did y'all see why they were sitting there, right, talking? They were eating, and all three of them dogs were just sitting there, just salivating over their food, just sitting there, mouths hanging. I was just like, ugh. That was just gross me out. Like, literally, like, their plate is here, their dog mouth is there. Like, I could not. Anyway, They bring up Nicole changing her last name. And Chris, of course, is just like, it's no pressure from my end. You do what you want to do as far as it goes with the changing of your last name. And so Nicole ends up surprising him. It's just like, I'm already on it. She pulls out the paperwork. So yeah, that was that on that. So we're 4 days now past decision day, and the entire group goes extra on, right? Everybody is there, including Dom and Mac, right? So they're catching up with one another. We find out that Dom has a new puppy, to which and Mac is just pissed about. He's like, she works a 9 to 5 and she likes to travel and she goes out at night and da 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 da. She don't need a puppy. That's immature, irresponsible of her. Who's gonna watch that puppy? That puppy gonna be locked up all day. Like, baby, Mac is really feeling some type of way about Dom getting her a puppy. So anyway, they all go through the couples and discuss who's together and who's not, as if they don't already know. Who? So Clint, Clint, he gonna make a joke when it came to him and Gina talking about they're renewing their vows tomorrow. Hardy har 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 har. So when they got to like Shaquille and Kirsten, like Kirsten was just expressionless, emotionalist. Like she was very just stoic, but Shaquille did say that he didn't know what he was gonna say until that moment came, and Kirsten pretty much was like, well, she was willing to give the marriage another chance because you can't know somebody in 8 weeks, and she wanted to kind of see how things would go once all the cameras were gone. And Jasmine said, well, is this the door being closed or is the door not being closed? Pretty much. And Kirsten was like, hell no, the door is closed. Hell to the no, no, no. Ain't nobody coming back through this giants. This is not a revolving door, basically. You know what I'm saying? She said, there are no commas here, only periods. And I know that's right, boo. Ain't no double backing. So Dom ends up getting up and leaving at this point. Dom over these people. She probably like, I don't really know y'all like that. Y'all done bonded without me. And look, I can be with my girls. What she call it? I could be having a GNO, a girls' night out. Oh. Nicole brings up Mac and Gina and how they should go out on a date together, right? Clint looks taken aback because clearly he didn't have a clue that there was some kind of feelings going on between the two of them, whereas everybody else at the table did. And I thought that was pissy. Like, that was just messed up, Nicole. Like, just straight trash to me. Anyway, that's pretty much how the episode ends. Like, Gina and McKinley, they never say officially if they're going to go out on a date or not. Gina was just pretty much saying, well, we'll keep the group updated on what we do. And that was the end. Like, why are we here, y'all? Anyway, that's all I got for y'all. I'll pray for you all. Y'all, please pray for me. And what? Bye, y'all.